All right, let's just jump right in. We've all been there, right? Whether you're a student, a parent, a teacher, you're just staring at a task and feeling completely, totally stuck. The energy's not there, the focus is gone, and learning just isn't happening. Well, today we're going to take apart the one word we always use to explain this feeling: motivation. Seriously, think about it for a second. When you see a student struggling, or shoot, even when you yourself can't get started on something, what is that immediate question that just pops into your head? It's like a reflex, isn't it? And there it is. Are they motivated? We ask it about our kids. We ask it about our students. We ask it about ourselves. It's the go-to diagnosis for any time engagement just collapses. But what if I told you that this question isn't just unhelpful, it's the wrong question entirely? Yeah, that's right. By framing the problem as a lack of motivation, we're actually starting with a conclusion that explains absolutely nothing. It's a circular argument, and it keeps us from seeing what's really going on. So here's the crucial point. We are looking at this completely backwards. Motivation isn't some magical fuel that you either have or you don't. It's just a label we stick on a situation after the environment, the structure of the task itself, has already failed. And this brings us to the absolute core idea we're talking about today. We have to stop thinking of motivation as an input, something that drives action, and start seeing it for what it really is: an output. Look at how this just flips the whole script. The common view says you need motivation first in order to get engagement. But the structural view, it shows us the truth. A safe, coherent structure has to come first. That structure is what allows for engagement, and that feeling we get from success, yeah, that's what we call motivation. Just let that sink in for a second. Motivation isn't the engine. It's the little light on the dashboard telling you the engine is running smoothly. So when that light goes off, you don't get mad at the light, do you? No, you check the engine. Okay, so if motivation is just an output, what does that mean for all the tricks we use to try and create it? Well, let's talk about why our usual solutions, things like incentives, almost always backfire. This is the big one, isn't it? The classic, just knuckle down and use some willpower. The idea that if you're not engaged, you're just not trying hard enough. But from a structural point of view, this actually makes things so much worse. And here's why it backfires. The system, your brain, it's already overloaded. That's why engagement failed in the first place. So when you try to force it with willpower, you're not fixing the overload. You're just adding more load on top. And the brain's natural response is to pull back even further to protect itself. And it's the exact same thing with external rewards, like grades or punishments. They just add pressure and raise the stakes. What if I fail? Which just cranks up the cognitive load. They do absolutely nothing to fix the actual problem. And of course, the second you take away the incentive, the motivation just disappears, because the broken architecture was never fixed. Okay, so we've pretty much torn down the old model. Now let's build a better one. Let's talk about the architecture that creates genuine, sustainable engagement. Now this right here is a massive shift in perspective. When you see someone disengage, don't see laziness. See a brain that's adapting rationally. It's a protective mechanism switching on because the environment is feeling unsafe or just doesn't make any sense. This is the mantra to remember. The problem isn't inside the person, it's inside the structure of the task or the classroom or the workplace. It is a consequence, not a character flaw. So what does a good structure even look like? Well, it has 4 key conditions. First, coherence. Does this actually make sense? Second, load. Is the mental effort required here manageable? Third, topology. Can I see a clear path from where I am to the goal? And finally, and this is so important, identity. Does it feel safe for me to try and maybe fail without feeling like it's a judgment on who I am as a person? And here's the beautiful part. When you build an environment where those 4 conditions are met, you don't have to worry about motivation. It just shows up, all on its own. It's a natural byproduct of a system that actually works for the human brain. So, this new way of thinking doesn't just give us a better understanding, it gives us better tools. It lets us stop asking that one wrong question and start asking the right ones. So let's just officially get rid of this one. We're crossing it out. It's a dead end. It blames the person, it ignores the environment, and it's time for a major upgrade. So here are our new questions. Instead of asking about motivation, we ask, what is the cognitive load here? Where is the logic or the story breaking down for them? What's making this feel so high stakes for their identity? Is the next step just totally unclear? And see, that's the crucial difference. These questions, these are diagnostic. You can actually find answers to them. And those answers point you directly to things you can actually fix in the environment, in the architecture of the learning itself. Think about it. The label unmotivated is just an easy way out. It lets the system, the school, the curriculum, the manager, off the hook. It puts all the blame on the individual. But this new approach, it refuses to take that shortcut. It forces us to look at the structure itself. So if you take just one thing away from all of this, let it be this. We have the cause and effect all wrong. It's not motivation that makes learning possible. It's having the capacity to learn in an environment that is coherent and safe and manageable that causes the feeling we call motivation.
So the next time you see a lack of engagement in someone else or even in yourself, just stop. Don't ask what's wrong with the person. Ask the better question. What about this structure makes engagement feel unsafe? Because the answer to that question, that's where real change begins.